This is a series of 100 films about Japanese places I've been, and this is a film about a place with the biggest Ferris wheel in the world. Tokyo Teleport is a neighborhood in Koto Ward, Tokyo Prefecture, in the Kanto region, the area around Tokyo, on the island of Honshu in eastern Japan. It's serviced by the Rinkai Line. The first time I went here was my second year in Japan. I went with some co-workers to the anime convention. It's during the Sakura season. That's the 2 or 3 weeks in the spring when all the cherry blossoms are blooming. Me and some co-workers took the Rinkai Line to Tokyo Teleport Station. Aside from a very strange station name, there's no actual teleportation involved. Exiting an almost brand new and very clean subway station, you'll find yourself on a gray, windswept plaza. A little bit further, you'll find a bridge to cross over the highway, and in front of you will be Tokyo Big Sight, a RoboCop-style convention center. It literally looks like a spaceship from a 1980s science fiction film has landed on a concrete plaza in the middle of Tokyo Bay. This concrete plaza is one neighborhood of Odaiba. It's a vast island of reclaimed land that was a huge mega project in the early 90s. As far as you can see, there's lots of parking and open spaces. Tokyo Big Sight is essentially 2 giant convention halls attached together. This is the place in town for big conventions like the Tokyo Auto Show. And much of Odaiba used to be fortress batteries and navy docks until the 1970s. Land prices were skyrocketing, so the Tokyo government decided, well, we've got all this land, why don't we just fill it in with concrete? And we'll create all these new places for people to live and work, and it'll be one of those brand new cities like North America with huge open areas and tall apartment buildings. Detour. The problem was that it was completed at the height of the real estate bubble that destroyed the Japanese economy in the mid-1990s. So for the first 10 years, the area was mostly vacant lots until the Saikyo Line began running through service via the Rinkai Line. This meant you could get from Odaiba to Shibuya and Shinjuku without changing trains. Tokyo is a city where neighborhoods live or die by how many train connections you need to make. Nowadays, among the wide streets and vacant lots, you'll find a fair number of condominium towers with young families, all of which have a great view of Tokyo Bay and the Rainbow Bridge. Nonetheless, the population of Odaiba is far below what was expected when the area was designed. So the Rinkai Line is more expensive than other train lines in Tokyo. They just don't have the passengers, that's the reason. On the plus side, though, it's usually empty. Even during rush hour, you're pretty much guaranteed a seat. Beside Tokyo Big Sight, there's a mall called Pallet Town. Outside the mall, there's an attraction where you can drive really crazy cars, like a Lamborghini or a Rolls-Royce. I took a trip around their track in a Delorean. And there's also a Gundam statue nearby, which I have to confess I've never actually been. And also outside Pallet Town, there's a copy of the Statue of Liberty right on a sandy artificial beach created on Tokyo Bay. For the record, it's not a very popular beach. A lot of sewage goes into Tokyo Bay, so you might not want to be seen swimming there. People will think you might have, gone crazy. If you're hungry, I highly recommend the Kuaina Burger. It's a Hawaiian burger chain, almost unknown on the mainland of North America. The Pallet Town location has a great bayside view, especially at night. Detour. Also nearby is the world's largest Ferris wheel. A full rotation takes about 10 minutes, and for the price, it's totally worth it. How do I get there? If you're new to Japan, you'll probably want to start in Tokyo from Shinjuku Station since it's the busiest train station in the world. Take the Saikyo Line in the Osaki direction from JR Shinjuku Station. Almost all southbound Saikyo Line trains offer through service to the Rinkai Line. You don't need to change trains. Tokyo Teleport is about 24 minutes from Shinjuku. As always, remember that this information may be out of date by the time you're watching this. The word of the day. The word of the day is deito. It means date in Japanese, as in a romantic date, and only a romantic date. Careful, it's not used for calendar dates or appointments. So if you want to remember this word, feel free to watch this video 10 more times and repeat along with me, or at least that's what I do. Next time! So that's it until next time when we visit Japan's attempt to outdo the Mall of America. So until then, sayonara.